Hello, welcome back to Fires and Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're going to continue on with Ever17. So, last time out, the disaster finally struck, and we got locked into the kid as our main character. So yeah, we're just kind of waking up in the infirmary here, talking to you a little bit. So let's pick it up here. My name's Yu. My last name is Tanaka. My real name is much longer, though. But it's such a pain, just call me Yu. I remembered your words. You turned at the door and looked back at me, lifting her hand to wave, left the infirmary. Alright, I guess that was a weird place to stop last time, but whatever, it's fine. All alone inside the room, it was quiet like time had stopped. I didn't know if the medicine had started working out, but my headache was completely gone. As I stared at the ceiling, I thought about the events leading to my being in that bed. Before I passed out, I've been walking around Lemu with you. We had gone to a shop and were talking. Then we rode an egg-shaped elevator up 2 floors. Before I had met you, I had been in a small park. I was on a bench in that park. I was waiting for someone. Who? Who was I waiting for? I didn't know. My memory was a fog. Thinking about events after that, my mind just seemed to cloud over. I shook my head several times, trying to clear it and concentrate. Why was I here? Why had I come to Lemu? Did I come alone, or was I with someone else? What was I doing before I came to Lemu? How had I arrived at this amusement park? It's no use. I can't remember. The thread of my memory was cut off right there. And at that time on the park bench enjoying ice cream, I couldn't get beyond that. It was like getting lost in the forest and going to turn back only to discover that everything had gone dark. I felt very strange. It felt just like I was in the middle of a dream. I felt like I lost something very important. But I didn't know what that something was. And not being able to move forward made me feel that it was specifically because I had lost something important. I felt an unpleasant sense of something lacking. And this sense of something not quite right irritated me. I took my right hand out from under the blanket and stared spacily at the palm of my hand. Countless wrinkles etched there, intertwining, reaching out like the branches of a tree in complicated patterns, the pinkish skin and buried deeper the slightly blue veins. And 5 fingers. Had my hand always had this shape, this strange shape? Bizarre thoughts hit me from nowhere. No, my right palm was no different than it had ever been. Yet, for some reason, I felt that I had to doubt even that most natural of facts. Maybe, just possibly, until a few hours ago, I might have had 6 fingers. Or 7, or maybe even 8. I felt like something was wrong. Could I have been feeling this way because I lost something special? I opened and closed my hand, just repeating that meaningless, simple exercise. I wandered in the forest, searching for that one lost finger. The door to the infirmary opened and you returned. You dashed into the room and ran towards me as if she were going to bowl me over. Yo, what are you doing? It's no time to be sleeping. She shouted at me suddenly. What? Completely clueless, I simply laid there, stunned. Get up, quickly! You peeled away the blanket and dragged me off the bed. What's the matter? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, we gotta escape out of here. You had a panicked expression. The relaxed look that had been on her face just a while ago completely vanished. Escape to where? There's only one place. A floating island up on the ocean. Why? Because I say, don't ask questions. We're escaping because we have to escape. There was something urgent and powerful in these words. You dragged me along. From her powerful grip, I felt a sharp sense of crisis. I hurriedly slipped on my sneakers and fled out of the room with her. The instant we emerged into the sprawling corridor, my feet stopped. I sucked in my breath, my body froze, and I just stared at the light spreading before me. And there was something missing. People, sound, warmth. No way, this can't be. The words I muttered were devoured by the eerie silence. Looking back and forth in the corridor, even in the furthest direction, there was no sign of people. Just the man-made walls on both sides. Unnatural light, whiter than white, shone from the ceiling and gave off a cold light. Why? Why isn't anyone here? You get it now?
だから逃げなきゃいけないんだってば。
That's why we have to escape. Everyone, where could everyone be?
かくれんぼでもしてると思う？
Do you think they're playing hide and seek?
とにかく今は考えてる暇ないの。
Anyway, there's no time to think about it
一
now.
刻も早くここを出ないと。
We have to get out of here ASAP, Blair. Saying that, you again tugged my arm. Hunched over on the verge of tripping, I let you lead me through the wide corridors as we ran. Our footsteps were the only sound echoing in the quiet complex. The more we ran, the more out of breath I became. My heart was pounding. Really, everything just felt like a dream. A nightmare in which some unknown monster was chasing us everywhere. With no clue as to the identity of the monster, nor why we needed to escape. Hair-raising fear rose within me, and I was powerless to do anything. I simply cowered. In a world devoid of people, among faded colors. Just used palms grasped my arm. Only the certainty of her touch, that one point of contact, allowed me to retain any connection with reality. Finally, we arrived in front of the elevator. You rushed to the front of the door and pushed the up button. The button was unlit.
ちょっと冗談でしょ？
Oh, no way, you gotta be kidding!
どうして止まっちゃってるわけ？
Why is this thing stopped? You struck the button repeatedly, but nothing happened. The light stayed off. There was no sign that the floor display below the elevator doors was functioning either. Hey, aren't there, like, emergency stairs or anything? You looked back and shifted her eyes around as if she were thinking.
ついてきて。
Follow me! Whoops. Don't do that. Saying only that, she dashed off. Straight down that long, stretching corridor. You turned her head to the left and right looking for something. It looked like she soon found what she was looking for, and she headed towards it single-mindedly. A ladder. Next to it was written in straight red letters, "Emergency exit," with an arrow pointing upward. At the other end of the ladder was a ceiling and a sturdy-looking door with a round-shaped handle attached to it. Are there emergency stairs on the other side? Without answering, you started climbing the ladder. She turned the handle and opened the door.
さあ、早く。
No, hurry!
ここは緊急避難用の通路。
This is emergency escape corridor.
この通路の途中に非常階段がついてるの。
There are emergency stairs that run along it. You told me this quickly while we ran. The corridor stretched in a gentle arc, so that the far end was not visible. The scenery was repetitive, and I began to have delusions as I was running in place. Where in the world am I right now? How far do I have to run? I just had to trust in you and chase after her back. Suddenly, you turned right. Inertia kept me going forward. Afraid I would miss the turn, I grabbed the corner with my hand, yanking myself around and chasing after you again. The route had become straight. Immediately to the left, a green-colored sign for emergency stairs was lit up. Below the light was a closed door. You jumped towards the door's handle. This is stiff. This is so... You was desperately trying to turn the handle. It won't open? Yeah, it'll open. It'll open for sure. I'll make it open. Don't just stand there. Get over here and help me. Spurred by her words, I firmly grabbed onto the handle. I tried with all my might to turn it in the direction of the arrow that said open. Damn, what's with this? It won't budge an inch. It was stuck fast, almost as if it had been welded shut. It didn't look like it would move to the right or left. Well, I'll try to check when I say ready, go. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. With that, I threw my complete weight onto the handle. Ugh. Damn. Open. Just then, it happened. The sound arose up as if from somewhere inside the earth, echoing heavily from somewhere. You and I relaxed our grips and looked at each other. What was that sound? The wall shook. Small vibration shook the handle we had grabbed. The lights on the ceiling flashed irregularly. The metal mesh floor was clanging against itself. An earthquake?
そんなわけないでしょ。
It couldn't be.
ここは
Where?
海の中なんだから。
In the middle of the ocean, after all. Is this thing, like, not tethered to the bottom? Is it just kind of floating? I don't remember the map. The vibrations gradually increased in intensity. The squeaking sound of steel against steel shocked our ears. You and I held our breath, waiting still. We tried to focus, sharpening our senses, our eyes wandering the void. A low growling sound, like the groan of a monster. Monster approaching. A voice filled with hate and rage turned to a howling roar, sending shivers up my spine. Where is that coming from? Huh? Where? Where's it coming from? What? Yu's voice approached a scream. Her face lost all color and her lips went dry. The eyes behind her silky, swaying bangs looked as if they were about to cry. Silky, swaying bangs. Wind? It's wind. Muttering this, I looked in the direction of the wind. Down the extremely long corridor, something appeared, pushing and vying for space.
そう
No way.
そうでしょ。
You're kidding.
まさか
It couldn't be.
水
Water? Monsters came crashing toward us at a terrifying speed, mixed in a roiled spray of water. There was no doubt. It was a rushing behemoth of water. Massive froth of waves. Ah! It wasn't the time to be shouting. You and I started sprinting desperately. We turned left at the corner and ran. The voice of the monster was right on our heels, but we couldn't look back. If we looked back, we felt like we would be swallowed up. Something beyond fear or terror had made our minds go completely blank. We couldn't even think. We could only run desperately for our lives. My shoulder bumped against the wall of the narrow corridor, and it looked like my foot would get caught up in the bent metal flooring. Avoiding the pipes that hung down, we leapt over the raised entrance of the watertight door and ran. We just ran on and on. This has got to be a dream. For an instant, that thought cut across my mind. In a world without people, in faded colors, drooling monsters reaching its bluish-white arms out towards my neck. We were spit out with massive water into a sprawling room. We were turned head over heel in the violent water. Several times, maybe several dozen times, over and over again, until finally my body stopped moving. Oh. I peeled my body from the soaked floor. Water was still pouring in from the far side of the open emergency entrance. Water was flowing down like a waterfall and spread smoothly towards the far corridor as if we were crawling across the floor. That's right, what about you? Just as I thought that and looked back, you was standing up. You okay? I shook the soaked Yu's shoulders and looked into her eyes. They were empty. Her purplish blue lips were quivering. Yu was completely dazed. You, hang on. The level of water continued to rise during the short time. What should I do? Just then it happened. The watertight doors at the four sides of the room began to close at once. There we go, jeez. The doors are closing, ever so slowly, letting off a dull sound. You? I tried shouting and even shaking her harder, but there was no response. Rather, Yu's body went limp and she collapsed to the floor. Hey, quit goofing around, come on. I took Yu's arm and put it over my shoulder, lifting her up. I started walking towards the nearest watertight door. Yu was heavy like a stone. Water pooled around both my legs, and I couldn't move forward as fast as I wanted. Gradually, a steel partition slid down from above. Another one came up from below, pushing away water as it moved. Stopped up water swirled around. As the width between the doors narrowed, the water level increased. Come on, make it in time. Please just make it in time. Sadly, the door didn't stop moving. There's only a small opening left for us to escape. Whoa, there's no way I'm gonna die here. Give me a shout, I ran, pushing the water out of the way. I used slumping body weight heavily on my shoulder, but I couldn't let go of her arm. I pulled together with all my power. I pulled together all my power. Yeah, almost there. Almost right there. Whoomp. With one hand, I grabbed hold of the edge of the... I don't know if that was supposed to say door or not, but whatever. Just barely. Just a few seconds after I'd squeezed our bodies through that narrow gap, the watertight door closed completely. We placed our backs against the closed door and collapsed. There was almost no sense of relief. Both my legs were shaking and my heart was beating like it would explode. We spent a few moments there in stupor. The next thing I knew, the seawater had mostly disappeared from the floor. That's not to say it's completely dry, it was still wet. My body and Yu's body. We were still soaked. Are you alright? What? You were really out of it until just a second ago. Who was? You were? Me? I was? You stood up and took her wet hair in hand, wiping away the water droplets around her eyes with the palm of her hand. Oh, that's right. The water carried us away. Carried us away. Now what happened? We got swept into the next corridor over. Then all of a sudden the watertight door started to close, but you were all spacey. And to make things worse, you fainted. So how did we get out? I got us out, obviously. You? Yeah. Really? What, you don't believe me? I mean, we're not dead, right? But... You... Well, you seem more like the type that needs help rather than just help out. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, it's a joke. I'm just kidding. If you really did save us, I suppose I should thank you. So, thank you. You bowed her head slightly. Do you really mean it? Of course, I guess. You guess? I said I was joking. No, you take everything so seriously. You're just an innocent youngin'. Ah, whatever. Well, I suppose I do one anyway. Help me? When I collapsed at the shop, you helped me, right? So now we're even. When I said that, Yu's face lit up in a smile. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry up and find an exit. Yeah. You never know when there might be another flooding. Yu was checking the ceiling and walls as she started walking. I followed along behind her. We cut across the wide room, heading for the exit. There was a big, empty mechanical merry-go-round, without without music or the voices of children playing. Only its bright lights glowed in a lonely sort of way. Hey. That reminds me, I haven't asked you your name yet. Huh? Name. Your name. Oh, yeah, that. My name is... And? I didn't know. I didn't know my name. My name. There's no way it couldn't be. I should know it. It's my name. My very own name. Name. And all of a sudden a shock shot through my whole body. Yeah. That's a terrible noise. Oh, what's the matter? My head hurt. It seemed like it would split right open. I held my head in both arms and crumpled forward. Are you alright? Grinding my teeth, I desperately tried to endure the pain. Darkness blanketed my eyes. I couldn't see anything, I couldn't hear anything. The darkness invaded my brain and glommed together. It was a glob that would devour my brain, and dissolve it into mush. Hey, hang in there! Hey! I didn't know my name. Who could I possibly be? The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant. Are you awake now? Shadow passed above me on the bed. You looked at me as if you were worried. This is... back to the beginning, thanks to you. The beginning. Now, the infirmary, huh? Hey, next time you say to go keel over, can you do it somewhere a little closer to this room? It was really a pain hauling your pee back all the way here. Sorry. Oh, it's alright. You don't have to apologize. By the way, did you remember your name? Name. That's right, my name. Yeah, hold on a sec. Yeah, don't have to try to force yourself to remember. You don't want you getting like you did before, alright? Yeah, but at least he's already in the infirmary this time, so... You said it very carefully. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. So just calm down. I want you to relax and answer them. Alright. Sure. First, do you know today's date? Today is the 1st? May 1st, right? Okay, you remember the date. So, how about your age? Your birthday will do, either way. I tried hard to pull together the threads of my memory. My age, my birthday. When I started to think about it, my temples began to throb. Hey, no straining yourself. If you can't remember, then you can't remember. Just say so. But that didn't mean I could just stop thinking about it. I endured the headache because I felt like I wandered lost through a forest. There had to be an exit hidden somewhere. I just didn't know where. Okay, I got it. So you don't remember your name, age, or birthday, right? How about your address or telephone number? If not those, then how about your family, friends, or anything? So you can't remember. It was just like you said. I didn't have any memories of anything. Sense of something not being right gnawed at my mind. No, it was something closer to a sense of loss. I felt that I had lost the bulk of my existence. Like someone had stolen me away, and the me that was left was just an empty shell. The me that was here, who knew if it was even the real me? The instant that thought went through my mind, I was frozen by an icy wave of unease. Scared, isolated, lonely. You? I grabbed firmly onto Yu's hand. Her warm palm. And that warmth was the only thing saving me. Yeah, it's alright now. Where are you, baby? Stop that sad face. She shot me a smile as she squeezed my hand back.
そんなに珍しいことじゃないと思うよ。
I don't think that amnesia is all that uncommon. Amnesia?
記憶がないんだから記憶喪失でしょ。当たり前だけど。
You don't have any memories. That's memory loss amnesia, right? Of course it is.
原因は何だろうな。
I wonder what caused it.
気圧障害の関係か、どこかで頭を打っちゃったのか、
Yeah, pressure change. Maybe hit your head somewhere.
それとも何か精神的な強いショックを受けたのかもしれない。
Or some severe mental shock, maybe?
例えば過激なアトラクションに乗って頭がパニクっちゃったとかさ。
Like riding a crazy ride, maybe you panicked or something?
でも心配しないで。
But don't worry.
きっと一時的なものだからすぐに記憶は戻るはず。
It's probably just temporary. It'll come back. You think so?
そうだよ。
Oh, for sure.
大事故にでもあって脳に致命的な損傷を受けたとかだったら別だけどね。
Of course, if you're in a major accident, if you're traumatized with the brain, that would be a whole different thing.
どうもそんな感じでもなさそうだし。
But that doesn't seem to be the case. You put a hand on my hair and gave me a smile so bright I almost needed sunglasses. That smile flooded into my heart, wiping away the remains of the unease that was swirling there.
さあそろそろ行こうか。
So, do you want to get going?
このまま子守歌でも歌って君を寝かしつけてあげてもいいんだけど、
I could sing you a lullaby and tuck you in, but...
残念ながらそんなのんびりとしてられる状況じゃないのよね。
Unfortunately, we don't have time to relax.
わかるでしょ。
You understand, right? I nodded and got off the bed. You started walking for the door. My eyes stopped on the bluish ribbon on Yu's back. The ribbon seemed to have taken on water and was glittering brightly like the wings of a newborn fairy. Awesome. Alright. Well, that honestly feels like as good a place as any to go and call for today. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see y'all next time.